It's Gabriel.
It's Bailey.
And this is CYMK.
Yeah, who are we speaking here with today?
I'm Abby Broyles.
And I'm JoElla Mendez.
Awesome. So you guys work here at CYMK?
We work in the Concho Clay Studio, which is a studio that CYMK started August of 2021. Yes. And JoElla is our instructional assistant down there, and I am the studio technician.
So yes, you work here, but there's a reason we have you on today, right? So what's coming up pretty soon? What should our listeners know? Tell our listeners.
Well, we have Ceramic Week coming up, and we are actually part of Ceramic Week. After 20 years, I'm actually part of Ceramic Week.
It's fun being an artist. That's we have our show coming up. It's called Remnants, and it'll be in the Coop Gallery that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So April
21st, 22nd,
23rd. Yeah.
And you said, Abby, this was your first show?
Yeah.
And JoElla?
It's my first actual ceramic show.
Oh, fun! So it really is a good occasion. It's
It's good. And it's like and one of the busiest weeks for ceramics. That's amazing. Great exposure. So
We got incredibly lucky that we managed to catch that spot.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. Cut off.
I'm only half a glass in. I can tolerate more than this, I swear.
Everybody's drunk. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm so glad you are going to edit all
There is
this.
wine.
That's one wine.
Bailey, you have two glasses.
The rest of mine. I didn't like it. I
Nice.
like grape juice.
You want the grape juice?
I want grape
Or the ginger beer.
Cut it with some Sprite next time.
Okay, so my first question is, what was the inspiration for your show? Did you guys mean for it to become a show, or was it just working, collaborating? Tell us the beginning.
It's the trash can, wasn't it?
Yes, and reclaiming the clay. So
Yeah.
Abby and I reclaim all the clay during maintenance week between all of our clay classes. And we began working with the leftover clay, and then it turned into Abby creating trash and the remnants of everything.
And by trash, you mean these really awesome sculptures.
And I love telling people I make garbage. They're like, no, it's not that bad. It's got to be okay, right? And I'm like, it's not. I'm not self-deprecating. I make literal garbage. Like, it's a trash can with like piles of paper on it. It was that. And then I was making pieces from the reclaim. And then JoElla started using my scraps because she makes more abstract work, and kind of using those pieces to form her work and speak through that. So there's a lot of, you can see like echoes of my pieces in her pieces and echoes of hers and mine. Like, and like I've had to start trying to learn how to paint, which is where JoElla started. And so she's helped me with that skill too in my work. And it's kind of just cyclical the way it all comes around.
That's really cool. So back to like how it all, like your beginning works. So JoElla, your work was painting, and then you were starting with ceramics, and you guys kind of flip-flopping on that. Do you see any of your earlier work within your work now?
My pieces are very similar to my paintings. I come from a painting background, and so my boxes, which are actually canvas, they're clay canvases that hang on the wall, look a lot like my paintings, except they have more three-dimensional I guess you have more three-dimensional ability with clay. So I am able to cut and carve into the clay, which you can't really do that much with canvas. It's more flat. And so I've been able to just extend the design of my paintings through the clay.
That's awesome. And so the name Remnants is not only from the remnants of the literal scrap clay you're using, but the meaning behind the work, obviously. I know, aren't you incorporating pictures and imagery of things that kind of define that title?
Yeah, lots of nods to nostalgia, and kind of the universal like human experience. Like we all have, like currently we're trying to finish up a piece before it's like 7-8 days to Ceramic Week, and we're still working on pieces, but we're currently working on like an old like nightstand or dresser drawer that's like full of JoElla went through all the hassle of learning how to screen print. And actually, Bailey helped with this too, but learning how to screen print our old family photos onto clay and being able to take those and fire them and put them where they're maneuverable within a piece of clay. That's kind of a joint project for both of us. It's got both of our hands in it and both of our families and kind of that lineage in it. So it's the remnants of everything past too.
Our last collaborative piece together. So.
Well, not for sure. We'll have more shows. Yeah. Last piece for this show.
I was gonna ask about that. So what's next for you guys? Are you guys gonna continue with using each other's scraps and remnants and reclaim, or are you gonna make different pieces? Is this more like your style, or is this a series?
I mean, JoElla uses scraps from not just me, from everybody in the studio. Like, we work in a community studio, and so I don't see you if you don't want to work in scraps anymore, but if you want to have your own clay, I'm a big girl now.
Yeah, I don't know. I was all like, I don't know, because when inspiration shows up, you just kind of go with it.
Oh, yeah. That's what happened with the drawer. We were in Cincinnati for the conference and just randomly found somebody's old pictures in a dumpster. And we're like, oh, we're going to make this cool.
They were in the dumpster?
Yeah. It looked like somebody had just taken a box of old stuff and thrown it in the dumpster. Yeah. And it kind of came flooding out, and it was all on the street and stuff. And so we were like, oh, wow, there's pictures. And then there was like letters.
Documents.
It was just a combination of all kinds of stuff like that people threw out.
Old pictures, like black and white pictures of tractors and like farmland and like
remnants.
We're like, oh, we could do this.
That's cool. I thought whenever because I heard you guys talking about using or trash as your inspiration, I thought it was like the graffiti that was on the trash, but that it was like actual trash.
Actual trash. No, we had to resist the urge to end up in the dumpster. I think like they got somebody was
Abby,
spilling
don't
out.
Go in there, Abby.
Yeah.
No, you
just
don't
hold
need
me back
it.
by the belt loops. Like
I was like, you don't need to take that home with you. There's no telling where it's been.
I did almost bring one of the photos home.
I was like, that would have been
I did find a random pen built it like somebody had poked it into the mortar of a brick wall though, and so I made sure to pull that out and take it with me from Cincy. So
keepsake.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's all rusted and nasty. I love it.
That's cool. You have a knack for making things look rusted and nasty.
It's the materials lend themselves well to that.
Were you doing that before, or is this the first time you've done like I guess what is it called? Antiquing, dirtifying.
Well, I like that dirtifying. I actually started off putting primarily like faces on pots, and I would joke with people that I was lonely at the time, so it was like me making friends to keep me company. Aww. And then I found my studio, and it really did start with a trash can, which happened. I had it finished by last year's ceramic weekend, so it was just one of those things, like it has two birds on it and they're like flirting with each other amongst all this garbage, and there's a light in the bottom to try and like bring some shadows and some illumination to like the beauty of the garbage. And so kind of just it started off, I think, as like we still have these beautiful parts of life and these parts that other people are going to be like, ew, gross. Like, I don't want to touch the trash can, or I don't want, there's like a banana peel hanging off of it and stuff. And it's like, oh, I don't want to touch the banana peel. And then it ended up with like, it grew more and more to be about pieces that are left behind, pieces that are mundane within our lives, maybe the overlooked portions of just everything that presents itself in a day.
Yeah.
And being able to find like, hopefully some beautiful spot within the garbage.
I love that. That's amazing. And like, it's cool that you guys are doing this collective show where you're really representational and you're really abstract, and you find a way to bring it together. You've already talked about kind of how you brought it together, but I love it. It's really cool. It's going to be a good show.
I think that's what I'm most excited about too.
It's going to be really interesting hanging it up and what it's going to look like, because it's going to be like, so like, it looks like something and then it don't. It looks like something and then it don't.
Well, and I'm really excited to see the contrast. And then like for the payphone, like the piece that's you're waiting on the phone, which is boxes that have like the original, like I poked holes to try and make the mouthpiece for a phone, and I didn't like the first ones I did, and so I gave them to JoElla, and she like made a whole piece with them, and like they're gonna hang next to each other so that you can see the bits and pieces.
So cool.
Yeah, it's made directly off the pieces that she discarded went into my piece.
Same underglazes, same
So it's
really cool.
And it's called Waiting on a Payphone because, you know, that's a remnant we don't have to do anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hello, the 90s.
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We'll show a little sneak peek on our Instagram, but for sure, come to the show, check it out. And then if they want to find you guys on social media, where's that?
I can be found at coloresdivinos.com.
And I am at Radix Ceramics on Instagram. I don't have a website yet because I'm not that fancy.
Hey, you fixed yours up right before Cincinnati, so we got
It's got pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
JoElla has been gracious enough to offer to help me with mine. I just haven't got the materials together for her yet because I'm a heathen who has no time. So,
But April 21st on Friday from 5 to 8, it's going to be the main opening of their show. So at the Coop Gallery, definitely go check it out. It's going to be
And Ceramics Week
Ceramic
altogether.
Week.
So we'll have 4 galleries full of art. We've got the Chicken Farm out there, and Roy Hanskin. Is it how you say that?
Handsome.
Hanskin.
Hanscom. I bet he is. His work is beautiful.
Yeah, his work is amazing. And then Hayun from ASU. So
And there's the graduate show.
yeah, it's Hayun's show. Yeah.
That actually opens this Friday.
And it'll be up through May, I think.
It'll be up.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. A lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. And then we'll have a dance party Saturday at the Chicken Farm.
Oh,
The barbecue.
We'll be doing raku.
with
Are we dancing?
Randy.
Yes. No big balloons like in Sika, but
Maybe it won't be as smelly.
yeah, it's outside.
It might be smelly.
There's a freeze.
Cool.
It'll just smell like burnt horsehair.
Okay. Oh.
It's raku.
Thank you guys.
I'm sorry. Well, thank you guys.
You guys are so polite.
I'm feeling this right now.
Are you? It's because Gabriel made you drink hers.
I added extra stuff to mine.
Quaaludes?
Hello, the 90s again.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. JoElla waves.